News. ABC7 Eyewitness News at 7 starts streaming now.
We're following several breaking stories tonight, including the shooting near a suburban mall that left a security guard dead.
Plus, outbursts in the court as the man convicted in the Waukesha parade tragedy is sentenced to life in prison.
Family suing Navy Pier after their child was seriously hurt when he fell from a climbing wall.
Plus, how volunteers are helping rebuild a West suburban community more than a year after a tornado caused massive damage.
All new here at 7, tips for traveling with kids as we expect one of the busiest Thanksgiving travel weeks ever.
But we begin tonight on this Wednesday with an update on the breaking news we have been following all afternoon. A security guard is killed in a shooting at a mall in Calumet City.
Tonight, police searching for suspects. This all happened at a jewelry store on the mall grounds. Shoppers were inside the mall when this all happened. Our Leah Hope spoke to them about what they saw and heard.
Calumet City police continue to investigate, but sources tell us it was 5 armed gunmen who came in shooting, injuring that security guard that led to his death.
Just afternoon, shots fired inside the River Oaks Mall. Calumet police officers at an active duty training at an adjacent building respond quickly to the mall as employees and shoppers took cover.
All we was trying to do is get everybody to safety. And the owner was telling me, like, stay low, don't get up. And then he was like, call 911, and I called 911.
All I heard was shots, and, me and my coworkers and clients just ran for cover.
I think that it was very scary. It was surreal. It was like something I see on TV.
The Calumet City Police Chief says some of the shoppers and staff were in hiding for nearly an hour while they cleared the mall.
The stores within the mall did an excellent job at initiating lockdown procedures. Our officers then went and searched the mall. Upon conclusion of that search is when we were making contact with the patrons and the employees.
Sources tell ABC7 a team of armed thieves came into a jewelry store shooting and taking merchandise. The jewelry store security guard was shot when they first entered. Some witnesses spoke of the efforts to care for the injured guard.
Good-hearted person. Every morning he comes in, speaks, jokes, talk about sports. He was a good guy. He was a good guy. It's just heartbroken that that happened.
A spokesman for the city tells us there have been concerns about safety at this mall, and they have been in ongoing discussions with mall management. We did reach out to the management for the mall, but have not heard back. For now, the mall remains closed. In Calumet City, Leah Hope, ABC7 Eyewitness News.
On counts 1 through 6, this court is imposing a life sentence without the possibility or eligibility for extended supervision consecutive to one another.
After an hours-long hearing, Darrell Brooks will spend the rest of his life in prison. He was convicted of driving through a holiday parade, killing several people in Wisconsin. The sentencing hearing lasted 2 days. Brooks getting confrontational at several points, but families of the victims say he got what he deserved.
You have absolutely no remorse for anything that you do. You have no empathy for anyone, and that you are justified in the actions that you take.
Judge Doro said there was no evidence that Brooks was suffering from a mental health crisis during the parade tragedy. Brooks interrupting her statement, having to be isolated in another courtroom several times today. He addressed the court for more than 2 hours in a wide-ranging statement that touched on his faith, upbringing, children, and mental illness. Judge saying Brooks deserved the time behind bars. I'm working on a longer story for us tonight at 10 on ABC7.
Look forward to that tonight, Rob. Well, let's change gears here on this Wednesday and talk about something we have also been talking about all day. Look at that. I mean, it is happening. Another round of snow hitting our area today in parts of northwest Indiana, seeing as much as 10 inches of snow. I cannot believe that number. This correct. Oh, yeah. Some drivers not too happy to see the snow on the roads this early and soon.
I mean, it's pretty once the blizzard is over and roads are clean. Yes, it looks pretty, but I don't like it now.
Yeah, depending on who you talk to, it's beautiful. It looks like a winter wonderland. Look at that. It looks so pretty. It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas. Storm Tracker heading back to Chicago from Indiana. We're taking a live look at the roads, and you can't see the roads because they're covered in snow.
Oh, a crew in Storm Tracker been out all afternoon. Be careful, guys, or ladies, whoever's in there coming back. Look at that. It's
I know. We just want to look at that.
I like it from here.
Right, I know, right? It's like a picture postcard.
We're not seeing any of that here in the Chicago area for the most part. I'm meteorologist Greg Dutra here with your AccuWeather forecast. What's going on, Greg?
Yeah, well, not today. Yesterday, we had enough snow at my place to build a snowman.
Oh, really?
And
Did you and the girls build one?
Oh, yeah.
It was that good packable stuff.
That's the thing, is like you make a little ball and you just rolled it a couple of times, and like it was the most low effort snowman I've ever made.
Is it gone now?
Oh, yeah, very gone. It was just a lump of a hat and a scarf and the chalk that I used for the eyes, because I haven't used the fireplace yet to get any coal. So that was all that was left over. That was pre-breakfast. We got out and did that, and then everybody had a meltdown because they were hungry.
And so did the snowman.
Right, just like the snowman. Well done.
Yes, the beauty too of lake effect snow and the curse is that right now, and what you're seeing from Storm Tracker is just super isolated here into northwest Indiana. Of course, trained basically on the wind direction coming out of the north to northwest right now and putting down those higher totals and leaving basically everybody else alone except for some scattered flurries that are moving through. We're going to get more into lake effect snow coming up, but thankfully not for us, but for western New York. We'll talk more about that in just a little bit. But for us this evening and into tomorrow, look at these temperatures here. They keep on going down to below freezing. We have a little blip up to about the freezing mark for tomorrow, and that's it. A few reinforcing shots of cold air and potentially crippling lake effect snow for a spot that's used to seeing a lot of it. We'll talk about that Buffalo snow forecast because it is wild. That's coming up.
Wow. Okay, Greg, seen a few. A family suing Navy Pier after their son was seriously injured from a fall this summer. The accident happened on a climbing wall, the family capturing the whole thing on camera. ABC 7's Michelle Gallardo has more on what happened.
Go, George! It is every parent's worst nightmare to watch your child one moment having the time of their life, the next being seriously injured.
I could not even bring myself to say the words that we thought he was dead. My twins were asking us, is Georgie dead? George was asking us when he came to if he was going to die.
The boy highlighted in this video is 8-year-old George Brewer. On July 27th, he was going up the climbing wall at Navy Pier when shortly after reaching the top, he falls 24 feet onto the pavement. We've purposely stopped the video right after the fall. His parents are now suing Navy Pier.
10 million people go there a year. We've been there a ton of times. When you go there, you assume that it's professional and they will keep your kids safe.
Since his fall, George has undergone 4 surgeries, 3 at Lurie Children's Hospital, 1 back home in Grand Rapids, Michigan, and more will yet be required.
He's in a wheelchair, he's in a walker, he's not walking normally. He can't do the stuff he wants to do. I mean, it's frustrating and it's infuriating.
The lawsuit filed yesterday accuses Navy Pier of willful and wanton negligence, saying it failed to confirm climbing wall patrons, including JB's climbing harness, was on and properly secure, failed to ensure that its agents, servants, and/or employees were properly trained, and failed to provide adequate impact protection devices in case of a fall. We did reach out to Navy Pier for a response, but they would only tell us they do not comment on ongoing litigation, and it is not clear whether that climbing wall is still in operation here since it no longer appears listed on their website. At Navy Pier, I'm Michelle Gallardo, ABC 7 Eyewitness News.
A teenager's been arrested after a break-in and burglary at an Oak Forest gun range. The ATF tells us the 15-year-old was arrested in Hazel Crest in connection with the Monday morning incident. At least 3 more suspects are wanted. Authorities say 28 guns and ammunition were taken.
People living in Chicago's East Garfield Park neighborhood gathered today to call for more police attention to a mass shooting on Halloween night. 14 people were hurt, one of them killed in the shooting, and so far, no one has been arrested.
Get these monsters off the streets. You know, they need to be held accountable for what they did to my family and friends.
Chicago police say they have no updates right now and that they are still investigating and are hoping to hear tips from witnesses.
Construction has resumed at the Obama Presidential Center in Jackson Park. Work was suspended last week after a noose was found at that site. Lakeside Alliance, which is building the center, says all staff and on-site workers have now taken part in anti-bias training. Companies are offering a $100,000 reward for information that leads to an arrest.
Leaders in Poland and NATO say that the missile that killed 2 people in Polish territory was likely fired by Ukrainian forces defending their country against a barrage of Russian strikes, and that the incident appeared to be an accident. The blast occurring in a Polish village about 4 miles west of the Ukrainian border yesterday, roughly the same time Russia launched its biggest wave of missile attacks on Ukrainian cities in more than a month. And there is an art exhibit at Northeastern Illinois University showing people and the images of war through the eyes of children. It is called Mom, I Don't Want War.
This is a much more universal language, so they can communicate and feel like somebody might hear, somebody might listen, but they're also talking to themselves.
Well, the exhibit is up through Friday in the Student Union on the main campus. Anyone can check it out for free.
Some breaking political news tonight. ABC News is projecting the Republican Party will gain control of the U.S. House of Representatives in the new term. Democrats retain their lead and control in the U.S. Senate. A bill to protect same-sex and interracial marriages crosses a major hurdle in the U.S. Senate today. 12 Republicans voted with all Democrats on moving the bill forward. That means a final vote could come as soon as this week. The Senate Democrats are working to pass the bill quickly while the party still controls the House of Representatives.
And Senator Dick Durbin joining other Democrats and youth leaders in Washington this morning. They called for passage of the DREAM Act before the end of the year.
We need dreamers now more than ever, and we need to make sure that this Congress responds to the political reality which we are facing.
And Senator Durbin is trying to get 10 Republican senators to join in passing it before a likely Republican takeover of the House in January. Dreamers or DACA recipients continue to live with the threat of losing their work permits and deportation protections and could lose them entirely. Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer and 3 Latino senators, including newly re-elected Nevada Senator Catherine Cortez Masto, all attended today's event.
Former Illinois Governor Pat Quinn getting ready to make an announcement about his political plans for next year. It's widely speculated he'll run for Chicago mayor. We know he's been collecting signatures. He'll join a very crowded race, which includes a re-election bid for Mayor Lightfoot. Quinn was governor of Illinois from 2009 to 2015. The Democrat will make that 2023, we're told, announcement tomorrow.
Well, it has been a year and a half since a devastating tornado hit the western suburbs, and the rebuilding process, it is far from over.
More than 24 families in Woodridge remain without homes. As Mark Rivera reports, volunteers are helping several families rebuild during this day-long effort.
The ground is wet and cold from 2 days of snow, but the work to rebuild in Woodridge continues nearly a year and a half after an EF3 tornado tore through the suburban village.
The fact that I, still have a life to live is phenomenal.
Katie Wilson was struck by a tree branch that careened through her roof, the injury causing her to lose her unborn son. She's still recovering from the physical and emotional trauma of that day.
It's amazing to think where I've come. I personally didn't think I'd be able to make it this far.
Now a plaque in her son's honor sits near her driveway, but will soon move once these volunteers from Home Depot like Daniel Williams and Woodridge Neighbors Helping Neighbors finish a memorial pond for the Wilson family.
When they look out their window, they could see something that's going to remind them of the child, not only of the hardship, but also to just remember to celebrate the life of the child that they lost.
That Woodridge Strong sign still standing here 17 months after that devastating tornado. 24 families still waiting to get back into their damaged homes, while others are nearly back to normal.
I feel exceptionally just blessed and grateful by all the support that I've gotten from, the local community, with all of these volunteers here today helping my neighbors, my mayor.
Joe Tancredi had to rebuild one of the walls of his home after a tree branch crushed it. Now Home Depot volunteers who were helping right after the storm last year are back to finish the job.
The tornado, I was here when it happened. I cleaned up a lot of it. Just coming back to help out, refresh with them, and get everything back normal for them so they can live comfortable.
Mayor Gina Cunningham grateful for the help to her residents.
It's incredible, really, the damage and destruction, but we, by putting our hands together and helping, can make a significant difference.
In Woodridge, Mark Rivera, ABC 7 Eyewitness News.
This is a beautiful story of neighbors helping out and strangers helping out. And of course, the season of Thanksgiving and generosity. I love this today, of course. Thanks so much for that, Mark. Now, one of Chicago's oldest houses is getting a new name.
You might recognize it. Today, City Council approved the renaming of the Clark House Museum. It survived the Great Chicago Fire in 1871. Mayor Lightfoot introduced an ordinance to change its name to the Clark Ford House in honor of Bishop Lewis Henry Ford, who helped save the home. It now serves as a museum focused on the city before the Civil War. Huge piece of history for this great city.
Absolutely.
Chicago History Museum is receiving a $50,000 grant.
It is from Bank of America, and the funding will go toward a paid summer internship. It's part of the museum's youth workforce development initiative called Aki in Chicago, and the exhibit is by the same name, coming to the museum. Its goal is to elevate the overlooked history of Latinos in Chicago.
All right.
Yeah.
Traveling with kids can be tough. Coming up, an expert shares ways to ease the stress before millions leave for their Thanksgiving trips.
And you know that our producer was going to put this story in our show today because perhaps it might be personal. Because Taylor Swift fans who did not get pre-sale tickets are going to have to dig deep into their pockets if they're still set on seeing the singer perform.
Very deep.
Yeah.
Later tonight, not the queen of Christmas after all? What is...
You know what?
We got a lot to talk about.
You know what?
The new ruling against Mariah Carey.
It's a ruling?
Yes, but you don't have to abide by it. We can call her whatever we want.
Oh,
and we think
man.
she's the queen.
It's come to this.
Yes, we'll hash it out.
Yeah, we got to do that. All right, let's take a break. We'll be right back.
Oh, Storm Tracker Live is out in the snow-filled region of Michigan over in the other side of the lake where they've had some lake effect snow that just won't quit.
It looks like, snow globes.
That does look like snow.
Very quaint little town.
They were in Niles earlier tonight. That was much earlier, though.
Yeah, they're in Indiana right now. They're across the border there. I think Greg brought all of this snow from New York City after being on Good Morning America all weekend.
Speaking of which, he's giddy about something tomorrow. We're allowed to talk about it, right?
We can talk about it.
Yeah, let's talk about it. Something that'll warm us up on this cold day tomorrow, because it's going to be cold tomorrow.
So you're taste testing something.
Eating pies for breakfast.
Stop.
See, I heard Robin and Michael Strahan and George Stephanopoulos talking about they're going to have some big, huge pie contest tomorrow.
Is that what it is?
Had no idea. Our very own viral,
How do you get choose for this? He did. I remember.
How do I get choose for this?
Well, no, it should be bigger.
Oh, no.
You did barbecue, remember, and it was a Chicago area restaurant on that, and I turned on my TV. And there he is just scarfing down barbecue.
Right, well, he's got to have dessert. It's dessert and holiday time.
Like, dude.
So they said, let's go back to the same person. He did such a great job for us.
This guy likes to eat. Yeah.
Is that in your contract? Taste testing, like a side gig, side hustle.
You know what? I should get it in there, like first dibs on any contest. I feel like now I've got like squatters' rights. Like they're gonna have to kick me off of it. At this point, it's my beat. It's been established.
The easiest role in the world. I'm like, I don't think he's gonna talk.
Like, do you have a favorite pie? The flavor?
I do have favorite pies.
Okay.
Key lime pie, like way up there. Is cheesecake considered a pie?
I don't know. What do we think?
It's in the shape of pie.
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
So cheesecake
it's called cheesecake, but go ahead.
Pumpkin pie.
Okay.
We got to work out.
So key lime is the best, but you don't have any idea what you're going to be tasting tomorrow?
I don't, but I know that, and local shout out, it's Who's Your Mama?
Okay.
Ooh, I know what you're going to be eating from Who's Your Mama.
Oh, yeah. And
Who's your daddy? Who's your mama?
Okay.
Pyries?
Okay. It's not going to be key lime. It's got to be holiday pies, I would think, right?
It's not going to be what?
I don't think it'll be key lime. It'll be holiday pies.
Yeah, it would be, which is fine. Like
sweet potato.
Cherry pie, I don't care. Yeah, sweet potato pie.
What's
apple
the
pie.
the silk chocolate silk?
Oh, French silk.
French silk.
Oh, go on.
That's
pumpkin pie.
Sweet potato
Pumpkin pie.
You better share.
What time's it gonna be on?
It'll be
today is his Friday.
local.
Okay.
Goodness.
He's not coming back to the station afterwards.
Right.
Yeah.
Are you with us tomorrow night?
No, I'm not. No, I am not. I'm putting in a tough day of pie eating early, and then they're cutting me loose at like noontime.
Nice.
Right.
Can't wait to see you, man.
He's gonna go shovel some snow.
It was
and work
proud.
it off.
Yeah.
I will. I'll try. And Kendra G, our girl, is going to be there.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
we love her. So hug her. You better get ready because that's gonna be some spicy pie tasting. Ooh, we love our Kendra.
I'm going to tell her that Cheryl told me to hug her.
Oh yeah.
Right. Yes.
Right.
That
Cheryl,
should work.
Cheryl,
You have to do what I say. Right.
First
HR
snow in our
calls,
forecast. Before I get myself in too much trouble. Some gusty winds also for our Thursday. Wicked wind chill. Teens and tweens will be our wind chill temperatures as we head into the weekend, and some may even get down to below zero. And then this weekend, we're going to stay cold with more snowfall possible. And this month, well, what a month we had for the first 2 weeks of it. And things have really turned around. But amazingly, somehow, the reason I show this, we are still 6 degrees above normal, despite what we have thrown ourselves into. That is expected to change very quickly. 30 in Woodstock now, 31 DeKalb, 32 degrees in Sycamore. Everybody is kind of around or slightly below freezing. And then when you factor in the wind chill, you are down below freezing, as that cold air has certainly surged into the northern U.S. Fargo's down in the teens right now. That's an air temperature. And look how far south it's made it. I mean, the only spots that are spared are Southern California and Southern Florida. That's it. Everybody else is in some colder air. Dallas is in the 40s right now, and that's not even their low temperature for the overnight hours. And as I said, everybody's kind of hanging around freezing, but we've lost even more than that when you factor in the wind chill, 20 to 25 degrees for those feels-like temperatures. That lake effect snow going on out here around northwestern portions, northwestern portions of Indiana, and then in the southeastern portions of Michigan. But I do want to shift the focus here to another lake that's putting off some lake effect snow. Well, a couple of them, Lake Erie and Lake Ontario, but specifically here Lake Erie, south of Buffalo, really heavy lake effect snow expected over the next few days. How much snow? Well, we thought 10 inches was a lot. Well, how about feet of snowfall? 2 to 4 feet of snow, possibly even more than that, expected for Buffalo and Point South. This is going to come down to a couple of degrees on wind direction. If it's out of, say, the southwest, it'll be Buffalo that sees it. If it's a slightly more westerly direction, then it'll be south of Buffalo, but still, feet of snow on the way, a crippling snowfall if that does actually hit the Buffalo metro area. Imagine waking up to, over the course of a couple of days, 6 feet of new snowfall. 34 degrees, our temperature here for tomorrow will be mostly cloudy, a few scattered snow showers out there, kind of blustery too, as our temperatures continue to fall. These are daytime highs, fading very fast into the upper 20s by the time we get to Saturday. And that's not all. The wind chill, of course, is a factor. Yes, we'll be in the 20s, but in the mornings, teens to single digits for wind chills on Friday. On Saturday, everybody's in the single digits. Would not be surprised if there are some 0 or below 0 wind chill values. And then same deal here early on Sunday. 5, maybe 10 degrees at the very warmest for your wind chill values. Air temperatures stay below freezing for a nice 3-day stretch there. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Here it is. It came on fast for sure, and temperatures will get back to around normal as clouds increase during the middle of next week. And man, 51. That'll be shorts weather by next Wednesday.
It'll be balmy compared to, I mean, you know, we have the Holiday Lights Parade this weekend.
Saturday.
Yeah, and you said single digits. I heard that. Did I hear that right?
Yeah. That's overnight.
Okay.
Well, overnight, but still, like
parade is like 6 o'clock.
Like 6 o'clock, it'll probably be about 20 to upper teens for wind chill. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But dry.
No.
You know, Mickey and Minnie are going to be here from Florida. You got to do better.
Yeah, I know. They're hopefully having.
They're going to have to wear like a lot of stuff.
Yeah. Wait, I should have listened. So no snow?
Well, I don't
because I'm on the float.
It's going to be clear.
Yeah,
it's going to be clear. Don't worry about that.
Oh yeah.
I'm working on my wave for the.
Oh, I was like, what is
It's
he?
natural.
I was like, what is he doing?
It's natural.
Well, you know, he's on Good Morning America all
he's
the
so
time.
good at
eating
it.
the pies and But
Okay, sorry. So Saturday for everybody coming down.
Yeah, I don't think that we're gonna get hammer or snow or anything. I think it should be fairly dry, yes, but there's a chance of some flurries.
Okay.
Not
Ooh, that'd be pretty.
nothing. Yeah,
okay.
right.
I know.
Like
Wouldn't that be
ambience.
pretty? We want ambience. We love ambience.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
No problem.
Well, he should pay attention to this next story for sure.
Yes. Oh, especially Greg with the younger kids. Yeah. AAA expects this will be the third busiest for Thanksgiving travel since tracking began in the year 2000. Third busiest travel.
Well, the group is also predicting more than 54 million people will travel for the holiday. And if you have children, listen up. The hustle and the bustle can be very stressful. So Erica Budd is a local travel expert. And look at that, the author and, to Mission to Australia. Yeah, did you go all the way there? Well, she joins us tonight with some tips to make sure that traveling is easier for families. Welcome to our show, our Stream Team Hour of Power. Erica, of course, we have some great ideas for you, I hope, tonight.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
All right, so let's just start right out. What do you recommend for people and how do they prepare ahead for a trip?
Okay, so as far as traveling is going right now, a lot of people know that trips are getting canceled and delayed. And so we're going to hope that doesn't happen. But in order to prepare so that you're a little less stressed out, one thing I'm going to recommend that a lot of people don't do is just get a packing list. I know it sounds crazy because you know exactly what your kids or your family needs. But one of the last things you want to stress about is trying to remember every single thing. And especially when you have multiple kids, you're going to have a lot of things to remember. So get a packing list. Make sure you download that airline app. That airline app might save you if they have to cancel your flight. It's going to be a lot easier to find a new flight on your app than it is to give them a call, right? Yeah. Make sure you have a plan B and C. Think about it before you get there. Because if your flight gets delayed and all of a sudden you're thinking about it and you panic, that's the last thing you want to think about. But if you think about it beforehand, even if you don't think it all the way through, at least you'll have thought about, can I fly there? Is there a different airport? Can we delay Thanksgiving dinner by a couple hours until I get there? Just think about anything that could happen, just so you're kind of prepared ahead of time. Also, make sure your kids have a toy bag. Okay. Make sure your kids have a toy bag because that's going to be your lifesaver as well.
iPads for sure.
Well, anything if you can. So weather going through, Greg was talking about several feet maybe out east, delays, cancellations you touched on. I remember going through Texas and one of the airports I think it was Houston Hobby. All the bathrooms got the water. There was a water leak, and they shut them all down. And I'm just like, I had to use the bathroom and get a sandwich, and they stopped everything. But I was thinking about the kids.
Right.
I was thinking about all the families where he's been holding it for 4 hours. And what is some of your advice to parents about delays and cancellations when you're stuck in the airport?
Oh man.
When you're stuck in the airport, it's actually a lot better than the airplane, right?
Yes,
because in the airplane, you're a little bit more stuck. But believe it or not, there are a lot of games you can do with kids at the airport. You don't think about them, but something as simple, how many of us play I Spy in the car? You do that at the airport. Scavenger hunts, 20 questions. These are things you can play with multiple people. You can do travel bingo, where you just think about items that are in that every single person has, and whoever finds it first wins. There's so many different games that you can play. Make sure you pack snacks though too, right? Because you don't always know. The last thing you want is a hangry family. I don't know about you, but my kids, when we're all hangry, it's the last thing you want. So pack plenty of snacks. And don't forget, if your plane gets delayed, remember that how you act as parents, that's going to affect your children. And that was something that I'm reminded of every single time. If you think it's the worst thing in the world, it's going to affect your kids too. But if you think of it more as an adventure, what can we do? It's going to help tremendously.
And your kids are watching you.
Yeah,
Like
Your kids are watching you. They
ticked
are.
off and upset. You got to stay cool because they're going to just emulate you.
You got to have
They
that
really are.
because it can get expensive to eat at airports.
Oh,
if,
yeah.
you know, if you have multiple children, and also, you know, you've got to have the books and you've got to have the iPads. You got to keep their minds going. I love that the games. You got to bring out the old school games
Yeah, never
that
hurts.
still work. It sounds like
Yeah,
Erica,
definitely.
you've been through this before, and you sound like you're a really adventurous person. So tell us about your book, Mission to Australia, and what is it all about?
Yeah, so I love to travel. That's one of the reasons why I wrote about Australia. I lived there, and that was something that I wanted kids to get about traveling and exploring the world and learning about other cultures. But what's unique about this book is I really wanted them to experience Australia, so it has augmented reality, which most people haven't heard of. So some of the pages not only have a 3D feature, but there's actual real life footage. So example, when they see like the kangaroo, they will actually see footage of kangaroo, so they know exactly what it looks like. Or a wombat, they'll see an actual wombat. So it's really cool, and I just really wanted to get them excited about the things you see in Australia.
Yeah, up close with the koala bears. One of my favorite places in the whole world. I went scuba diving in the Great Barrier Reef
Beautiful
in
down
Australia. It's a long
But
flight.
that's the one thing I have to say. You can't say koala bear, it's koala.
See, because you live there, you know the expert way to talk. See, I'd have a picture with one, but so now with a koala.
Take it home.
Right.
Erica Budd, thanks for joining us tonight. Good luck on
Thanks
your
for having
holiday
me.
travels,
Right,
okay?
yeah, great advice.
Well, those games are fun for adults, too.
I Spy?
Oh,
We gotta
anything.
Talk about that one.
Yeah. Oh, I'm a child in an adult body, so I like these games. But it helps keep your mind fresh,
Right,
too.
you got to be creative for your children.
It's
so
hard traveling with kids.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I know. That's why my parents put us in a car.
Yes, right. Greg, I don't envy you, buddy. Your girls are right at that age.
Yeah,
but it's a lot of fun, too, to take
they've
them.
got curiosity minds.
Yes, and adventurous.
yeah.
I just love adventures.
Right.
And I always try to make it fun for the
And
family.
it's a blessing to get on a plane as a young
I agree.
person, you know, as
Some
a
don't get to
family,
do it until
right?
they're
you
older.
know, yeah. So if you can do that, and then the people, it's exciting, and then the airports are all decorated this time of year
it'll be-
too. So
hopefully
I love
everything goes well.
Yeah.
Up
all
next, Mission to the Moon.
Oh, he's happy.
Oh, it was awesome. Yeah.
He is so happy.
Historic
Did you
launch.
sleep last night?
I missed it. I fell asleep.
Oh no!
You did?
It was
So did
awesome.
Lee, our floor
All right.
director. Y'all watched it. I fell asleep. But we
See?
got more on this. The launch finally happened overnight. Well, most of us were sleeping. But
Okay, well, you know, some are losing sleep over this next story.
Oh,
the
no.
reason Tom Brady and his ex Gisele Bündchen are being sued by a stranger.
alone. And electronic cigarettes designed to look like toys and snacks. Come on. The companies
goodness.
that make them getting a harsh warning from the government.
The FDA is warning companies that it says are selling illegal e-cigarettes. Now, the look-like toys, food and carton characters, 5 companies are selling 15 different products that violate FDA regulations. The companies have been told to fix the problem or face penalties.
Elon Musk defending himself in a shareholder lawsuit over his Tesla compensation package. He appeared in court today and denied he dictated the terms of the package. And during his testimony, he also said he does not want to be the CEO of any company. Musk just took over as chief executive at Twitter. He says he plans to reduce his time at Twitter and will find someone else to run the company at some point. Musk also just sent an email to Twitter employees saying he wants to build a Twitter 2.0, and it will take long hours, and anyone who cannot keep up can resign.
Several celebrities are being sued by a man who invested in the now bankrupt crypto exchange FTX. Tom Brady, his ex-wife Gisele Bündchen, and Steph Curry are among those named in the class action lawsuit. The lawyer behind the case claims that FTX was a massive Ponzi scheme, only successful because it had a boost from celebrities. Well, Taylor Swift tickets are hitting the secondary market already with massive price markups.
Floor seats at shows around the country going for anywhere from tens of thousands of dollars to the nosebleeds, which were originally sold for around $50. They're being listed for at least $350. Tickets to last year's Super Bowl averaged around 10 grand. You gotta think those will come down.
Maybe so. I saw on World News Tonight they saw one ticket for $22,000.
Someone bought it.
That it was for sale.
Yeah, that's what people are doing right now, right? I've got them. I'm going to sell them for that. No one's going to pay.
22, 10,000, 17,000. Our producer, I know our producer got one.
I want to, right. I want to know what they're actually selling for.
The regular price is like $3,500 for front row, I think, and then like maybe $1,000
so those would go
for
for
10
probably
rows.
3 times, 5 times the amount.
Yeah, $300 probably for the last seat in the house, all the way to the back, to the sidewalk.
And if that's $350, that probably goes for $1,000. So maybe these prices will stay.
$2 grand.
A lot. You can always get tickets,
know.
but man, they mark them up.
All right. I feel like we should be going,
We should look at this heavens.
Yeah, because after weeks of delays, the Artemis 1, finally.
It's above us right now.
It's happening.
In
it's
outer
doing
space.
Things, sending pictures back already.
Up next, the reaction to this history-making moon mission. It's beautiful.
Gorgeous. Plus, Christmas around the world, the popular display, it is now back here in Chicago. You have to see this.
Three, 2, 1. Boosters in ignition. And liftoff of Artemis 1.
With that moment overnight, NASA started its return to the moon. Wow. For the first time in my lifetime, decades, 50 years. The most powerful rocket in the world heading into space.
Look at that.
The Artemis 1 mission aims to establish a human presence on the moon by the end of the decade.
On behalf of all the men and women across our great nation who have worked to bring this hardware together to make this day possible. And for the Artemis generation, this is for you.
All right. The Orion capsule has already started sending back images of the Earth from space. Here's one of them. It'll spend 26 days getting to the moon, orbit it, and then it will return to Earth.
Splashing down on December 11th.
Yeah, and I missed it.
That's okay. That's what we're here for. Because we want to help you out.
It's just after all those delays, and then so they backed the launch. Well, they had the launch window last night. I saw that, and then they were working on some Ethernet cable, and they had to do some things, and then I fell asleep. But
how many things had to go right? Like 750,000 things had to go right for that to happen, just like that.
And it did, finally.
And how many people it took to.
That's what I like. And I like
beautiful.
that. And these people are different than the men almost exclusively who did it 50 years ago. It's a merger of young talent, female talent, different races and ethnicities. Like it's truly immersed into, it's becoming more of a humankind thing now as we try to get back. It's still amazing to me that it's been so long.
American history, watching it right before our eyes.
Get back safely.
It was early in the morning. You went to sleep, but that's
usually
okay.
Up that late.
Yeah, you are. I'm not sure what happened there.
Oh, I was
all right. Yeah, well, we got something real interesting here.
Oh, this is a good story. And if you're cooking your turkey at home, you got a demonstration on cooking turkey safely. Doesn't quite go as planned, but it eventually goes. Plus tips to make sure you don't set a fire this Thanksgiving with those fryers in your turkey. Never frozen. We'll show you what happened.
That's the operative word.
Right.
So.
I've done it 4 years in a row now, and you have to really mess it up to like set your house. Like you gotta.
Really?
You gotta make a bunch of mistakes to set your house on fire. Deep fried a turkey.
It happens.
You're just perfect. Everybody doesn't get to taste test on Good Morning America. Everybody doesn't get to test on Good Morning America.
Beer's in, and your uncle's like, throw it in. And then that happens, man.
You guys taste a little salty, speaking of tasting.
Well, we just threw you down.
No, because you're not going to bring us pies back. You're going to go home.
I never said that. I'll bring pie back.
Okay, next week. It's cool. It's cool.
Taking a look outside. We got a little lake effect snow we got to talk about. We'll talk about that. And a big cool down all coming up in just a little bit.
Thanksgiving is the leading day for home fires involving cooking equipment. In fact, the state fire marshal said 4 times the average number occur on Thanksgiving. In general, ranges in cooktops cause 3 out of every 5 home fires. This morning, the acting fire marshal joined the Chicago Fire Department to warn specifically of the fire dangers of these turkey fryers. Demonstration at the Quinn Fire Academy in the South Loop highlighting what can happen if you don't thaw your turkey first.
Boiling water, liquid or frozen, don't mix. Water causes hot oil to bubble and spill over, which can quickly result in a fire. That means you never put a frozen turkey into boiling grease. Let me repeat that. You never put a frozen turkey into boiling grease.
Frozen. The key is frozen because we're going to tell you something more in a second here. Fire officials say keep a fire extinguisher close in case your turkey catches fire. Call 911 if it gets out of control. So this morning's event proved that not everything even purposely set as a fire goes as planned.
So the first attempt to show off the risks of turkey fryers failed. Nothing happened, though, after Chicago firefighters dropped the turkey into the fryer. In fact, someone had to run to the grocery store to get a second frozen turkey. Fire officials found some humor in it all.
No one said that started fires.
We are great at extinguishing that.
Right.
Well said.
I'm glad everything's all right. And it shows
what can happen,
yes,
though.
with the frozen bird.
Right.
Yeah.
So we got to do this. I think we should run this kind of every day and
All right.
keep saying, reiterating the frozen part. Because sometimes you get so excited, you're cooking your first Thanksgiving meal and you don't think about it. So
It happes. Well, the stats, they're undeniable. I'm wishing Greg the best.
Yeah,
as
Greg
he
is an
does
expert, though.
He already telling us in the break, does things you should not do. But I'm just kidding.
But he's done it 4 years in a row with no problem.
But he did. Well, tell us about you got some hardware.
Really cool.
Yeah, I got some gloves that go up above your about mid bicep, so you can just, if you got to go after the bird or something like that, or it slips, you can just grab it.
Okay.
Yeah, it's awesome.
That doesn't happen.
I still would be a little nervous. That would be
Yeah,
so
well,
hot.
yeah,
I don't know.
It's weird. You got to wrap your mind around it.
Yeah, because you're like dipping in a deep fry.
Go right in there.
And I think people do get care. It's first timers probably. You're like, I'm going to try it.
And you've had a couple. And
and you just drop that bird and think it's because it doesn't take long, right? Compared to baking the thing.
Not even.
Bacon
It's
is
like a third of the
6
time.
hours.
Right.
Yeah.
And slow and.
And those deep fried are delicious.
Oh, so juicy because it gets
solo effort.
Hungry.
Too.
I'm
It's like a
so
big
hungry.
chicken wing.
Right.
I mean, big chicken wings. We got pies going. I mean, is it dinner time?
Oh, yeah. Well, good luck with your bird.
Yeah. All right. And tomorrow morning on Good Morning America.
Yes, eating pies.
Yep. We're counting down to the opening of the Kendall Market at the Daily Plaza. It opens on Friday. T-minus 2 days, everybody. And it runs until December 24th. That's Christmas Eve. There are 2 other locations this year at Wrigleyville and Aurora. That's a live picture, everybody. The lights are on. You can see some of the snow plows, probably the little miniature ones. And
Yeah, it's ready to go. We have this live cam. We'll have to check this throughout the month as it opens.
Yeah, we'll
see if we
check
can
it out.
spot some folks down there. We're going to send Larry over at 4. He goes over to get some hot cocoa and the Bavarian-style pretzel.
Ooh,
It's huge.
They've got some new ornaments this year,
Yes,
some new
very good.
candy, some new mugs.
Yeah. Remember they got rid of those for a year or two, now they're back.
Everything's back.
Yeah, that's gonna be great.
Yeah, all right. We're going to be back too, but you can celebrate Christmas around the world without leaving your home in Chicago.
It's back at the Museum of Science and Industry.
3, 2, 1.
You recognize anybody? The exhibit
Yeah.
features more than 50 trees representing different countries and cultures. The centerpiece is a 4-story tall grand tree in the museum's rotunda. There's Chance the Rapper there to celebrate the opening this morning and share his love for the museum.
My grandmother used to take me here. My best friend's grandmother used to take me here, like going to see stuff in the IMAX. I learned a lot of stuff here. So the fact that, my daughters have been coming here through the night at the museum, it's become like a family tradition of sorts.
For so many of us, for generations, Christmas around the world runs through January. Tickets are available online.
One of my favorite field trips every year in elementary school. And, Chance the Rapper does his program, his organization, his charity organization, Social Works. He takes a group of young people and they spend the night in the museum. Can you imagine doing that in a sleeping bag?
That'd be cool.
I mean, wow. And just look, I wouldn't be able to go to sleep.
Yeah, I wouldn't. I'd be all, wondering what's going on.
Bright and magical.
Looks like fun. That beautiful tree, too,
It
in
is
the rotunda.
stunning.
Hope you can check it out during your break. Take the kids. They'll have a blast.
A lot of culture celebrated with each tree.
Yeah, with each tree, right. Different countries all represented. Looks great.
Photos. All right. Well, we've got more holiday stories to talk about.
That includes an update on our girl, the Queen. Right? Mariah Carey's effort to trademark the title Queen of Christmas. It has hit a major snag. The Grinch out there.
Plus a new holiday flavor for Spam.
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah. Let's see Greg taste.
That's right. Get it here for Greg.
Yeah, all right. We'll be right back.
bit of an update on a story we've been following for a while. Mariah Carey's fight to trademark the phrase Queen of Christmas.
And it's bad news for the singer. You know, she sings 8 octaves, so I wonder what octave did she go disappointment. The U.S. board ruling against her attempt to register Queen of Christmas, Princess of Christmas, and QOC. Carey will not be allowed to use the trademark phrase.
Well, she can't trademark the phrase. We could still call her the
Call her
Queen
that,
of
right?
Christmas.
And she said she's unbothered by all of this. She's really unbothered. I saw an interview with her earlier this week, and she said all of this hype around Christmas and princess and queen and.
I feel like the Queen of Christmas could be Mrs. Claus, right?
Yeah,
Or
she
she's
could
the mother
be.
of Christmas.
Well, then is he the king of Christmas?
I don't
Mr.
know,
Santa
right? Then we're
Claus?
getting into like,
Okay.
some weird word stuff. But
Right.
she can be our queen,
Okay.
I think.
Well, people are going to still call her that, and
Yeah, they
she's got a
can.
new Christmas book out, children's book.
Yes. The
So-
trademark, and they can't tell me that I can't call her the queen.
Right. Okay. They're not the boss of you. Is that what-
Just trademarks, apparently.
All right. We're still going to listen. All I want for Christmas.
You might be able to do it for this next story.
All right. Now,
funny.
you're trying to get a cat's attention. Try using a high-pitched voice. Oh, wait. Where's Mariah Carey?
Right, where is she?
Researchers just studied cats' reaction to people, and they played recordings of different types of speech and different speakers. They realized that cats have all kinds of different reactions, and some are really subtle, like moving an ear. Well, the cats reacted the most to their owners when they used a high-pitched voice or a cat-directed speech instead of using the tone they use to speak to other people. However, cats did not react to high-pitched tones when the person was a stranger. I was just about to ask that because my niece Olivia has 2 cats, and they really watch every move, and when she has visitors, they're not as welcoming.
Yeah.
So
So it sounds like they understand the owner's voice or respond to it.
right, so what's your best high-pitched voice?
I'm not doing it. Yeah, I don't. We all talk
you
to
have
our
a
pets in
dog.
weird. Right. We
What-
all
what
talk
about
to our.
that? Do
Yeah, I
you-
don't. I just use regular voice most.
You don't go, oh, I love you, Snoop Dogg, Snoop Dogg. You don't do that.
That would be right. Yeah, Snoop.
Or do you
Come on,
go,
here, boy. Good boy.
Snoop
Yeah.
Dogg, Snoop, good
Right.
boy,
Everybody,
good.
I mean, we all
Okay.
do it, right?
Right. You change the octaves
Yes.
depending on, good boy, good boy.
I think these cats know more than they let us.
Oh, they're
know.
super smart.
I know.
They're super smart. Yeah.
They feel like they've never really liked me. And I don't have a problem with cats. But they, I don't know. Maybe that's
Okay,
why
you
they
know
know.
what?
Maybe they know in my voice.
Do we need to get you some help?
Right, with
You
the
need
cat. Give me a
hug.
kitty cat. I think Snoop would get along with the cat.
Have you ever had a cat?
No.
Even when you're young? Okay.
No, my girlfriend in college had one. And it,
In college? She had a
way
cat in
back
her dorm
when.
room?
No, it
Oh.
was, no. By then we were older.
Okay.
It was short-lived. For us.
Because her cat didn't like you.
And the cats. I can't tell that story right now. That's another story.
Yeah.
But maybe that's why.
Oh, she broke up with you because her
yeah.
cats didn't like
That
you.
might be true.
And they maybe told her this is not
This
the
is
right
not
guy
the guy.
for you.
He's a dog guy. So get him out of here. I'm going to stand on him and hiss when he least expects it. That's actually part of the story. Anyway, so.
Oh, well,
sorry,
cats
cat
are
lovers
people
out there.
too.
Yeah, cats
are
and they're
people
awesome.
too.
I mean,
yeah,
they're,
and they
they're-
pay attention to everything, and they know when you have. Because I'm telling you, my niece Olivia and her cats. I mean, her dad has to go get her and the cats because you can only bring one on the airplane per person.
Okay.
And she has 2, so her dad has to travel all the way to get her, and then they come back with the 2 cats for Thanksgiving and Christmas. And I call my sister, for grandparents because they had to decorate their house for the cats. Towers and stuff. All right.
We got to move on. You're going to have no time for weather, by the way, Greg, because we should talk about that. After seeing success with pumpkin spice flavor, Spam has a new twist for the holidays. Figgy pudding Spam. The traditional British dessert is made with seasonal spices like cinnamon and nutmeg, dried fruit, and beef fat. So maybe adding it into canned meat would work.
That's a dessert. It should be tomorrow for his taste testing.
People
I think
love
Figgy Spam. I
love
think
it.
Greg should have that for tomorrow.
You can wash down the
He
delicious
should-
pie. Or maybe it would
yeah.
be the pie that would wash down the figgy Spam.
Yeah, I think you should offer that, Greg, tomorrow.
That wouldn't be bad, like a nice pie concoction with
yeah,
little
you would
Spam
be
mixed
very
into it.
popular.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think it would go over like gangbusters. I had a pie last week when I was filling in for GMA. They just had some in studio that had chili powder in it. It was like a
Was it
like
good?
a cherry pie with chili powder. It was decent.
It was decent.
If you're watching us late, Greg's going to be on Good Morning America tomorrow, sampling pie.
Right,
Pie
here in
contest.
Chicago.
Yes. With Kendra G.
With Kendra G.
We can't forget with
Keep the
Kendra
beard
G.
clean, okay?
Yeah,
All right.
that's going to be a spicy event. You and Kendra G.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we're going to tune in just for that.
She is going to. She's going to definitely be pulling the weight in the talent
She's a
and looks
sweetheart,
department,
just
for sure.
beautiful, just fun.
She is. Yeah. And temperatures this afternoon and evening have taken a dive. A reinforcing shot of cold air has put us at 33 in Chicago, 19 up in Fargo, and look how much of the U.S. is covered by that, all the way down basically Tampa. I mean, southern Florida is the only that's warm, and same deal, barely warm in Southern California. For us, we are in neither of those spots, as I'm sure you're very aware. 31 in Aurora, 31 in DeKalb, but wind chills are down in the 20s, and that's going to be the story moving forward. The wind chill, as lake effect snow has been our story here for today in northwest Indiana and southern portions of Michigan. Then out in New York, they are seeing the lake effect snow machine start to ramp up, and Buffalo is on store for possibly up to 4 feet of snow as this band shifts north in the metro area in the next couple of. That is going to be possibly historic, definitely crippling if that actually does make its way into the metro area. For tomorrow, some scattered flurries, hints of sun, otherwise mostly cloudy. Really just hints of sun at the very best for us. And it'll be blustery too. Wind chills tomorrow afternoon only in the lower 20s. Tomorrow night into early Friday, we're down in the teens. Some single digits are possible late on our Friday afternoon and possibly into early Saturday morning. Definitely early Saturday morning, single digits. And then early Sunday morning, we're back to the single digits too. With daytime highs only peaking in the teens to around 20 when you do factor in that wind chill. And you saw Sunday, same type of deal. It is a cold stretch. We go all the way to Sunday with a high temperature of only 31 degrees there. These mid-20s, lower 30s, that's 7 hours, even more that we're down below freezing, because you got to factor in the whole nighttime low situation dropping late on Thursday and then recovering back to freezing. That's going to take some time on Monday too. So the better part of 4 days essentially will be down below the freezing mark, but we do get back up. Mid to upper 40s, lower 50s for Tuesday and Wednesday as we get back to normal, and it'll probably feel like a little heat wave. We'll be right back.
Lego showing off its tallest build ever, a new Eiffel Tower set that stands nearly 5 feet tall. Look at that thing. Contains 10,000 pieces. Not an easy build. It's recommended for adults, and it will cost you more than $600. The set goes on sale on Black Friday.
That
seems like a lot of work.
Phenomenal. I mean, totally cool.
It would take forever to do.
But then that's good. You have a project that keeps you busy.
Right.
Especially it's going to be cold. You got to stay inside, you know.
Start getting it on Black Friday. Yeah.
All right. Well, we thank you for joining us on this Wednesday, everybody. For Greg GMA Dutra, I'm Cheryl Burton.
I'm Rob Elgis. We'll see you tonight at 10 on ABC 7. See Greg tomorrow on Good Morning America. Hope you have a great night and stay warm.
Wake up early to see him. And thanks for joining us again. Yep. Good night, everybody. See you back here tomorrow.